Welcome back to Nomad PDU today for a soft launch of our new product line of being LiFePO4 chemistry of the Nomad. So LiFePO4, a different chemistry from the Nomad V5. You can see here, just so you can see the difference in profile. The V5 is perfectly fine for most, probably 95% of all your off-gridding, free camping, all driving application where you require power. And then you've got LiFePO4 for those people that require higher voltage for a longer period of time. That it doesn't drop away, and that's a characteristic of LiFePO4. And as you see down here, just for showing purposes, 11 to 14.8 volt, but the pack's rated at 12.8 volt, and that's because each of the each of the battery packs itself, 3.2 on 4 series, would be 12.8. However, they do charge from 2.75 right through to 3.6 as per each battery series. So this will run quite happy once it's fully charged. It'll be sitting at 13.3, somewhere at 13.4, and drop down to 12.8 around that for the whole length of the battery pack. 105 amp hour. It does weigh 15 kilograms without the back flange. You can see the flange on here. That's connected to 6 bolts, so it's completely flat and flush at the back. And just so you can bolt it directly in any of your vehicles. Something we've been asked for forever and a day is, can you get the Nomads built in their slimline and be able to have a bracket that's attached to it already, and yes, that's what this is for. So it's about 18 kilograms and a half with the flange, 15 without it. Profile is 500 mil by 300 high, 90 mil thick, the same as the V5 over here. So that's the chemistry aspect of it, LiFePO4. We will have online very shortly on nomadpdu.net.au. You will have all the charging profiles and all the text and specs that you might want to know about the way we've set up this LiFePO4. 2,000 to 3,000 cycles you can expect with a 3-year warranty. The next question that everyone's going to have is it prismatic? Yes, it is prismatic. So it is the top end of the battery, production side. It's also a true 105 amp. It's not 120 cut back down to 105 or 80 that we say it's 100. It's 105 amp hour battery, thus the size. So it's about 25 millimeters on each end of the flange over the 500 by 300 by 90. And then you've got a 50 amp input, regulated input only. So this unit will only charge with the regulated charge. So from a solar panel, no problems at all, up to 50 amp. So a 300, 400 watt panel is going to be no problems at all. Must have a controller. So if you're using a solar panel with a really good quality Victron controller and so on, a 14.6 profile is exactly perfect for these. Your Matson's 20s, your Matson 40s now, Matson make. For your DC. DCs in vehicle are completely fine, as are your inner drives, and your red arcs will quite happily do this, no problem. Bolt it in, plug in your existing DC, and away you go. This one also has Bluetooth, so it will work with any Android phone and your iPhone, so you can get the application, so the app off Google Play or Apple Store. That's DALY. It's a daily BMS, smart BMS app for download. You can Google that and you can see some of the screenshots of it. We will post some screenshots on this tutorial just for you to have a look at. Again, this is just soft launch because these will be available at the end of February, beginning of March, starting from a range of 105 amp hour right through to 190 amp hour. And the price point for these would be about $17.50 retail. They do come with a 14 amp charger, a 10 amp 14.6 volt LiFePO4 specific charger with the unit, and comes with the flange as well, so it's all as one pack. We don't put the chargers inside the units, as you've heard us before, we never will. The point is you don't want to have continually adding electronic components and inverters and chargers and things that can fail inside of the unit around a battery pack that is creating heat and emitting heat. So we keep the chargers out so that if you have a charger that fails, you still can use the unit perfectly fine. 90% of people that use these are going to be running them for complete off-grid systems, and they'll be cycling it through a very good quality solar setup and also quality DC-DC. Very rarely they're going to be using an AC-DC charger. They might use it occasionally if they're going to use this as a slimline and take this back flange off, which, as I said, you can do. So it gives you state of charge, 100% right through down to 0. Gives you how many amp hours left in the unit with a bar here. If we turn this on and off, again, it's gone to sleep because I've had it sitting there. If you're turning it on and off, the actual screen will come on and light up, like so. We'll turn that off because it sometimes affects the camera. And that will give you all of your, what your current load is, what's being drawn, say, from a fridge. It'll tell you what the charge rate is, it tells you what's left in percentage of your battery. It gives you all those profiles, including you can go through the parameter settings. You can look at what the temperature of each cell. You can look at which the voltage of every single one of these cells, how they're balanced, and all the rest of it. So if you want to get really, really technical, we use that from an analytical perspective. So you'll have access to those. It's good for about 8 to 10 meters on your phone to be looking at that phone instead of this. So this screen will go, it'll go off as far as the LED goes, the lighting goes, once it's been sitting there. But the mobile phone will still completely work. Once you come to the range, it'll kick back in again. We still have at the bottom, we still have some of the outputs, again, because people want to have them there, because the majors still want to use them as a normal camping type of battery pack. But the other thing is the 50 amp output and 50 amp input. So the 50 amp output is designed so you can connect that grey to a power board. Okay, so you might have a Narva power board that's got all its own sockets and things. You might have it somewhere in a sea container. You might have it in your vehicle, wherever you want to have it. So your power distribution stuff. You can put this away behind your seat. You've got your Bluetooth. You don't have to look at the screen. You can connect it up to your own power board if you like. So that's what the 50 amp is designed. If you still are going to ask us a question about can we run induction ovens, can we run a coffee machine, full-blown coffee machines on it, those machines are designed for 240 and they draw a hell of a lot of current and amp. So a 50 amp output is going to allow you to probably put a 600-800 watt inverter. If you want to run a 3000 watt induction or a 2500 watt coffee machine, the fact is you're going to need a bank of batteries and a huge inverter to run the 240s. The thing is, once you're out camping and you start spending this sort of money on free camping, you need to look at the accessories, and you need to look at accessories, the efficiencies of the things you run on it. Because if you're going to continue to think 240, you're going to run into problems. It's not about getting more power from the batteries to run your 240. That's not efficient. And no matter how big the battery packs are, you're going to get them damaged quicker, and they're not going to last long anyway. Because if you're running AGMs and lead acids, and you've got massive battery packs and they're running to 40%, not only have you got a massive amount of weight to carry around, you still run down to 40-50%, and the battery's not going to last as long if you continue to run inverters at high current pulls on them. So again, look at the efficiencies of your accessories when you're out camping. So that's a Life PA4. So 105 amp hour. The range will run through to 190 amp hour. Weight's 18.5. It is prismatic. One of the common questions we get now is the newest, latest, and I guess most effective battery pack and that's out there. So that's the prismatic. Again, cost and price point, these are $17.50 retail, and they'll remove up through that range there with a 3-year warranty on that. So that's the Nomad Life PA4 series. Starts at 105 amp hour, available in the new year. Very exciting product, works fantastic on a 100-litre fridge. And you know, again, you can order them now, I believe, through our partners coming into the new year. These are quite popular. So again, we'll talk further. Look at our nomadpdu.net.au website. In the next few days, you'll see the charging profile, as I said, the charging profile, discharge profiles, cell breakdown, how we've set this up, cell protection. That will all be on there, so you'll be able to see the complete spec on this. So you'll be able to see charge curves and all those types of things in the next probably 4 to 5 days. But we thought we'd launch it before the end of before New Year's, just so you can see what's coming. And we do have a whole range of other battery style products that are coming out in the new year later on. But the V5 again will stick around. It's been a great entry product. It works fantastic. Like I said, for 95% of people's off-gridding needs, it's a great product in the market. But this is going to give you the other options if you want to start stepping things up. Again, thanks for joining us, and we will talk again in the new year. Thank you.